Hey, real life traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with Real Life Trading. Hope you're doing absolutely wonderful. Still here broadcasting from Montreal in Quebec, Canada. And we are checking out the SPY right now. And the SPY today closed with a nice little inside day candle. Nothing too wild or crazy. So here's my note early this morning. Expecting a smaller bearish candle today. Might take out the low of yesterday, but I doubt it. And that was pretty much my analysis. So it was a smaller bullish candle, but I knew it was going to be a small candle. Did not think it was going to take out the low of yesterday, which it did not. And interesting to see what happened. So on Wednesday, pretty much my analysis was, okay, guys, I'm thinking we're going to trade down for a day or two. And that's exactly what happened. So we traded down for a day or two, and from here, who knows? I really don't know for sure. Back just the other day, I mentioned that I do not think we take out the low of today's candle in the next 2 weeks. So today's candle is going to be Wednesday's candle. So we really should stay above there. If not, I have no idea on the SPY. But anyway, that's pretty much what I got. So the interesting news, here's the actual S&P index itself. Kind of checking that one out. Well, actually, let me do the Dow Jones because that one's not pulling up. It was taking too long. So the Dow Jones Industrial, ladies and gentlemen, big deal. New all-time high yesterday. New all-time high. And in fact, here's the ETF for that, the DIA. And I've had this purple line on my charts for, about a year now. And the high, the target was 188.61. And the high of yesterday was 188.82. So the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, I've been mentioning that I think the markets make a higher high again as opposed to just a few weeks ago. And we have, at least on the Dow anyway. The Dow has now made a new all-time high over the last 2 days. I think that's a very, very important takeaway. The Russell 2000 is going gangbusters, my friends. Stan Jewell has a 114 put sale. A lot of volume coming in here on the IWM. Great bounce off the long-term moving averages. So here's the 100, 200. Phenomenal gap, phenomenal candle. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So here's the weekly chart. So the Russells are about to make a new all-time high. So I think I can take this support and move it up to here. And I believe this is the all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So right here, the all-time high, 129.10. We probably breach that here pretty soon. Now, the unamazing thing is, if you're not in bullish yet, this is really not the best time to get in bullish right here on the IWM. It's really not. That's going to be at the all-time high, at a resistance. If anything, I would assume just let it break out higher and then let it pull back and then buy the dip, right? Buy the dip, buy the bounce. That is the way to roll in this particular market, at least as it stands right now. Let's go check out a few individual stocks. Here is ticker symbol ADM. Let me pull up this little list here. These are some of the requests that you have. So this is my buddy Michael Clark. Here's his daily chart. So ADM, Archer Daniels Midland Corporation, getting really beat up massively today. We were watching this for a day trade all day, and the only reason I missed this trade is because the 100 simple moving average on the daily chart was right in front of our face. This actually gave me my textbook favorite setup when you get a nice gap down into a small white candle on the 5-minute. So I wanted to enter right below the low of that candle with a stop above the high. That was the entry, and I just missed it because the 100 simple moving average was right there. So too bad, so sad, didn't work out. But anyway, that's ticker symbol ADM. So Mr. Clark, here's the daily chart, and it does look like your $49 covered call will expire worthless. Congrats, my friend. I know that's what you wanted to do. So good job lowering your dollar cost average on that. Dividends coming up right around the corner on ticker symbol ADM. Here's VRX. And VRX, ladies and gentlemen, one of the stocks that I mentioned is likely on a slow, slippery slope to zero. And at this particular point in time, we have made a new low just the other day. We're down there pretty far at this point. Black candle gapping down. That is a retest gap. Guess what we're doing? Retesting. I know, shocker. So as we pull into this old support, new resistance, I would likely imagine that we probably end up rolling over again on VRX. It's very, very difficult to pick the bottom on this water slide, so just be really careful in doing so. If you are trading it bullish, just be very, very quick about it. But I do think the edge on a longer term level is zero on VRX. Let's go look at JCI, which is Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, here's a weekly. Actually, it's better to go to a monthly time frame on this beast. And you'll notice JCI pulling into some all-time high resistance areas. We've been back, Johnson Controls back here in 1999, 1988 when I was born, over here in 2001, over here in 2014, pretty much right around here. So yeah, really good resistance on Johnson Controls. I know a lot of traders who do have some shares that here on JCI, so feel free to keep your eyes out for some covered calls or get ready to lock in some gains and then kind of take it from there. The Dow Jones Transportation Index, my friend, DOWT, has broken out of a really, really good resistance. So here's the weekly chart on the Dow Jones Transportation. Today is Friday, so this is the weekly chart. Really big, massive, massive triangle that this thing is breaking out of. So keep an eye on any transports right now. Any kind of pullback over the next week or two, maybe 3, and then a bounce, in my personal opinion, would make loads, if not tons, of sense on a lot of the transports. Going to turn out that more than likely all the traders who've been in Delta Airlines for the last few months, so we've been trading this one pretty actively, is going to get called away next week for a solid gain. Plus this 35-34 November bull put spread on Delta should expire worthless. Speaking of options expire worthless, Netflix, we had a 110-109 expire worthless today. Great job on Netflix, my friends. IBM definitely expired worthless. Had a 142-141 bull put spread on IBM. And British Petroleum today had a $33 put sale expiring today. And British Petroleum closed at $33.18. That's going to be good to go. Looking to do another one of those on British Petroleum, probably at 31 or 30 for December on ticker symbol BP. Jeremiah wanted and requested ticker symbol STZ. So here is Constellation Brands. This is the beer company that makes Corona and Modelo. So Constellation Brands Modelo, here was kind of the last time we looked at it in the trading room, was a bearish breakdown into here with a target into the 200 simple moving average. Didn't make that trade official because it was a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, but it did break down. It did trade into the 200 simple moving average, and it did bounce. After that, though, dividends came out on Constellation Brands. Pretty big gap. Here's your weekly chart. This stock is really, really, really bubblish right now. At least it kind of looks like it. Went from $20 to $160 since 2012. So that's a big, big return. Huge, huge move. So on a weekly time frame on Constellation Brands, you actually are dealing with what looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row of bearish candles. You did pull into a little bit of a support, so my expectation and anticipation on Constellation would be a little bit of a trade higher, maybe into 161, 165 at the most, and then probably a trade down to the 100 simple moving average on the weekly chart on Constellation Brands. So just something to watch on that one. It does look a little bit more bearish than bullish. Here's your daily chart. Your daily chart also has a strong bearish gap and go, but it is at a support. So hopefully the stars will align for you on this particular trade if you're looking to trade it bearish. Southwest Airlines, speaking of Southwest, oh man, Southwest has been going wild. Absolutely loving this trade. Got to give a shout out to my good buddy Brian Montgomery, who did a really good trade on this one. Justin Linderman, fantastic job, man, with your $38 calls. Got to give a shout out to Justin. Here's how he played this one. He actually bought January 38 calls back here, exited half of them here and then half of them there before earnings. So he got out for a really, really healthy gain. Then when the stock gapped down into here on earnings, he bought those calls again and then exited them before the election. So he locked in 2 profitable trades on Southwest constantly. And then Donna, about 2 weeks ago, right, she actually did request Southwest, asking if it was a good buying time. And I said unequivocally, yes, buy low, sell high. So Adrian Lee, a few other traders in, stands in, Southwest, great buy low, sell high opportunity. A lot of banks moving. So here's Goldman Sachs, ticker symbol GS. Goldman Sachs had a beautiful bullish gap and go out of a flag pattern on the 7th of November and a little bit of a follow through on the 8th, then a retest gap here, retest gap, retest gap. Goldman Sachs is going absolutely wild. So at this point, it's like, where is it going to trade to? I mean, look at this weekly chart. Oh my goodness, that is an amazing, amazing gap. A lot of volume coming in on this thing. Really, at this point, you just got to be looking at where's the next target on Goldman Sachs, because if you're not in bullish, you're missing this move. It needs to pull back. I'm not in Goldman Sachs, so don't worry, guys. It's just a great opportunity recognition. I mean, realistically from here, 215 on Goldman Sachs. Just wait for a little bit of a retracement. Look to buy the dip and see what kind of happens from there. Here's JP Morgan. And JP Morgan also just crushing it right now. This is a big deal on JP Morgan because one of the few pre-2009 banks that got absolutely smashed, but has now broken its 2000 high, 2007, 2008 high levels. So JP Morgan, one of the few that is really, really rocking and rolling right now. A lot of big banks are going to be moving higher now that Trump is elected into the presidency. Likely one of the big banks, there's rumors to be that he might give one of the CEOs a tap to be the treasurer, or I think that was what I read, the secretary treasurer. Anyway, so JP Morgan, big gap, big volume, all-time high. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, on finances, look for a dip buying opportunity. I did mention the markets would make all-time highs, and as we look around, we see that is most, in fact, happening as we speak right now. So from here on out, it'll be interesting to see exactly how it plays out, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any other stocks you want me to review for next week, let me know. I'll be back in Nashville Wednesday of next week. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you guys next week, broadcasting from New York City on Monday. You guys rock. Bye-bye.